Recording on.
Excellent. Well, I'm so happy we're all here. Welcome, everyone. Leti, Tanya, Carla, Canta, Danielle, Aida, Priya, Gabi are my co-hostess. Thank you, Gabi. Well, anyway, everybody, welcome. So we're going to make, huh?
Kathy.
Kathy just joined.
Kathy.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Yes, I can't see who's joining. So if you let me know who joins, that'd be fantastic.
Louder so you can hear. Oh yeah.
You will.
We can do it. I met my sister, so this is my sister Michelle. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi there. Hi Priya.
Hello.
You guys get the Wi-Fi? You guys
Yes.
get the Wi-Fi out here?
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Maybe we'll mute.
Okay, so is anyone gonna cook or you're all just going to watch?
We're
gonna watch you.
Cool. Excellent. Well, I am fully prepped here. I'm gonna put my you're gonna be able to see. I have all my mise en place, right? This is for the Guatemalan vegan and fish version. Well, here's the fish, here's the eggplant, and this is for the Peruvian one. And there's the lime juice, which we're gonna use for all of them. All right, and my 3 bowls. Okay. What happened? Okay. Anyway. We're here. So we have, I bought two fish fillets. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to put them in squares. That's the first thing.
Lilian,
I'll do it and then I'll put my camera to show you.
tu señal está un poquito baja, Lilian. No sé por qué.
¿Así? Ay.
No.
Y eso sí no lo puedo resolver, no, porque tengo que tener el video puesto. Que lo primero que hace uno es. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's just a little sometimes,
Okay.
but I'll let you know if we cannot hear you.
Becomes out. Okay. All right. I'll go slowly and we'll try to. I'll repeat. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, you can't see because I don't have a proper camera here, is that I am slicing the fish. I'm gonna make squares. Can you see that I already sliced it? Now I'm gonna cut it across. Okay.
Most probably,
Probably, I think you mean cubes. You are making cubes, correct?
I lost you guys, but if you guys can hear me.
yes, we can hear you, Lilian.
And whoever was speaking. Okay, good. First fillet, I've made it into squares. I'm gonna put it in a bowl.
Can
I'm
you
gonna do the same with the others.
Can you remind us which what kind of fish are you using, Lilian?
Yes, I'm using a white fish called mero in Spanish, which is grouper. That's what I'm using, grouper. But you can even use salmon, which I wouldn't, because salmon is fantastic in other ways, right? Cooked other ways. So I wouldn't use salmon, but I've had ceviche in Peru with trout, for example, which is like salmon. So I would recommend a white fish. That's what I would recommend. Okay, and now, sorry? I don't know if can you guys hear me
Yes.
and see me?
Yes.
Good. Okay, now I am doing this is for the vegan ceviche. This is eggplant. So I peeled it and I'm gonna cut it into squares. And Aida was sharing earlier that she makes vegan ceviche with beans. So you can use beans. And chayote, if you have it, chayote and tejibaye, which are very Latin American vegetables.
Very,
But
very interesting.
eggplant, I know you guys can get. But you want to say something about your options?
One of the options with the chayote is actually a member of the squash family. And it comes out as a very nicely textured, crunchier ceviche. Chayote is basically a fruit that does not have much flavor to it. So then all the lime and the hot pepper and I prefer to make it with yellow onion, give it all the seasoning. Nice and cold, delicious on a hot day.
Yeah.
Then with beans, basically you just use cooked beans. And again, you just
I'm gonna have to try
them.
that one.
Yeah, delicious. With the beans, basically just cook them, boil them, let them cool, and then add the rest of the ceviche ingredients. Makes for a very nice side salad or just a meal. And again, with either plantains or with chips or crackers, whatever. The other one I mentioned, which in Panama it's speaks by, in other places in Latin America, it's also known as pejibaje, or it's actually a coconut. It's a tiny little thing. Let me find some pictures. It's a very nutritionally dense fruit, very yellow in color, with its own flavor. And when you cook it like that, it's
Okay,
delicious.
so what I'm doing now is that
that's what it looks like.
I have the fish, and I'm putting I'm pouring lime juice on the fish and on the eggplant. And so what the juice does, it's very
Ya te perdimos, Lilian.
Se congeló. The juice will cook it. The juice and the onion will cook the fish. Basically. And the neat thing about it is that you can go as hot or not as you want. And she's gone. I think her
We lost
battery
her.
died. Yeah.
I'm gonna let her know on the phone.
Yeah.
I got lots
just-
of cute photos of her though. She
Oh.
looks so cute.
You might need to continue the lesson, Ida.
All right. I have no fish with me right now. Dang it. Okay. So it's
When you
nicely
were
cubed, and then
describing the
whatever else.
vegetable, is it like jicama? Would it
It,
be like
actually, you can
jicama?
make it with jicama as well. It's not
Okay.
a jicama because
It's
it's not a
not jicama?
root. It's not a root.
Okay.
Jicama is a root, but you can also make really mean ceviche with a jicama. And that'll actually be even crunchier.
Because that'd be crunchy. Yeah.
Yes, it'll be crunchier than the chayote. Chayote is a member of the squash family again, but it's outside is green skin, and you just peel all of that out.
Mm-hmm.
And the meat inside is white, very firm, basically. And I don't know what name I can give it in English. I'm going to look for it in a bit.
hi.
But basically, once
There she is.
oh, here you go. She's back.
We got her
She's
back.
I was
Good.
filling in for you. Yay! Take it
Thank
away.
you.
And it
Look
looks
for
much
chayote.
better now, Lilian. It looks
Well, I
much
hope
better.
much better. Well, let's hope that whatever was happening is resolved. Okay, so thank you, Aida, and thank you, Gabby, for taking over. Okay, so what I did is
I don't know, Lilian, if you can hear me, but when you start moving, somehow it's when we cannot hear you anymore.
here what I have is I have the eggplant and I put lime on the eggplant, okay? And I've done the same with the fish. There's fish and there's lime juice, a lot of lime juice. You can see that it's swimming in the lime juice, okay? And this is the important part because this was raw fish. It's raw fish, right? And we're cooking it in the lime. Okay?
Sí.
See. Now, so we're gonna make the Guatemalan and the Peruvian version, right? We're gonna start with the Peruvian. And the Peruvian ceviche takes red onion that you have sliced as thinly as you can, very, very thin, right? So we put some red onion. And this is all, you know, you do it. If you really like red onion, you put a lot of it. If you don't like red onion, don't put a lot. There's an ingredient that I did not include in the recipe, and that's ginger. So I'm gonna put a little bit of ginger. I don't know if the original Peruvian ceviche takes ginger, but I like it. But we're gonna add just a little bit. And I'm mixing the red onion and with the limes. And I'm going to add cilantro. I chopped up a bunch of cilantro. I'm gonna add if you guys like cilantro a lot, then you add a lot. But it doesn't have to be a ton. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it sit for a while right now. I haven't finished the ceviche. We're gonna still put salt and pepper and other things. But in the meantime, we need for it to cook in the lime juice. So I'm gonna go to the Guatemalan ceviche now, which maybe Gabi can tell us how different it is from Mexican ceviche. Okay, so I have my fish with the limes, and I'm going to put tomato. This is like 3 tomatoes that I chopped. I'm gonna use less than half because the other stuff is for the eggplant. Okay, the eggplant. I'm gonna make the Guatemalan version for the vegan as well. So I have tomato now, and I'm going to put a little bit of jalapeno. This is my Mexican touch. We don't put jalapeno on our ceviche, but I like it, and I'm gonna put a little bit of jalapenos without the seeds so that it isn't too spicy. If you don't like it too spicy, and white onion or yellow onion, like Aida was saying, I also use yellow onion, but this is not sliced, this is chopped. So it's different from the Peruvian one.
I like that this one will be more colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is like all white, basically. Yeah.
White with the red onion, it looks
pretty.
That's why the red onion is important.
Critical, yeah, to make it at least have something. Yeah.
We use our hot pepper is red, so you get little dots of red on it. And we like to add a little bit of our version of cilantro, which is called culantro. It's not really cilantro, but so it's got a little bit of green in it too. And I just added a few other names for chayote.
Fantastic, thank you, Aida. So Aida, so yours doesn't take tomato then in Panama? Okay.
No, at all.
Yeah, everybody eats ceviche, I think, in Latin America, and we all make our own versions of it. This eggplant version was my mother's version because she became a vegetarian when I was like 15 for health reasons, and ceviche is what you have every Saturday, you know, and it's something that you make with your father. In Guatemala, a lot of men are in charge of ceviche, and my father used to love to go to the market and buy the fresh fish and come home and make it. And well, he would always bring the cockles, the black cockles, which are like clams, because we really like it with clams in Latin America as well. But since my mom couldn't have the fish version, she used to make this one, and we all loved it. We would end up having this during the week as a, you know, week salad, as a salad in the middle of the week. So I'm gonna put tomato on it.
So it's interesting to note now that Ruben's just joined the room because this entire cooking class has only been female. So welcome, Ruben.
You're
By
very
the
wel-
end.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I am from Ecuador, and we do have ceviche, so we
Yes.
cook it. So I'm very curious and competitive about Lilian ceviche and see how it is done. I can tell you. And one more thing, and I was going to ask you is that at least where I come from, when you actually have ceviche, it has some particular uses. So, for instance, many people have it as a hangover. When you're hangover, you have ceviche. When you go for parties, you have ceviche afterwards. When you go to the stadium to see a soccer match, you will go afterwards to eat ceviche. So it has a cultural meaning. So I don't know
Yes.
if anything like that happens around where you are.
Yeah. No, same thing here. It's a Saturday meal. Men love to have it. Men get together to go out and have ceviche, you know, and it's a hangover cure as well, definitely. And yeah, so it's culturally important. Yes, and I'm not, you know, I didn't grow up making ceviche. It was my father that used to make it, right? And I wasn't supposed to learn that. I learned to cook everything else, but I didn't learn to cook ceviche. It was something that we had to find out later, as you grow up and your father's not around anymore. Yeah. So I just added cilantro to the vegan version. Okay, so I've done the first round. You know, I have the basic ingredients in each of the ceviches is in. The basic ingredients are limes, onion, you know, in the Peruvian and Ecuador, I'm pretty sure it's also the red onion. And in Guatemala, the white onion or yellow onion. And we have jalapeno peppers in the Guatemalan versions. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. And ginger, we have ginger in the Peruvian, a little bit. Now we need salt, pepper, and olive, and a few other ingredients. So the Peruvian ceviche takes a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And the Guatemalan, I forgot to get out one ingredient out of my pantry. Sorry about that. The Guatemalan ceviche takes a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. We could have a contest about how to pronounce this thing. Salsa inglesa. English
There you go.
sauce.
English sauce.
Worcestershire.
That's the name in all of Latin America. English sauce.
English
Salsa
sauce.
inglesa. We don't bother with Worcestershire sauce.
You blame it to the British. That's right.
Yeah.
English sauce.
So I just added a couple of, you know, a bit of English sauce. And I'm going to add now a little bit of salt in each.
Lily, could you hold up the Worcestershire sauce? Can you hold it up because I want to get a screenshot so I can tell everyone it's called English sauce. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carla. Thank you for doing the screenshots because we need
And
to.
actually, it's English sauce as opposed to Chinese sauce. Because soy sauce is
soy
Chinese sauce. Salsa china, salsa inglesa.
Very, very good observation. Thank you for that one.
And then by the same token, Lisano sauce is South American sauce.
Okay.
Really?
You guys get Lisano sauce in South Africa?
No, because my son studied in Costa Rica, so we don't
Oh.
have any.
But that's only a Costa Rican thing.
looked.
We don't have that
That's
here.
only
No,
Costa
yeah.
Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't find Lisano sauce anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have mixed my 3 ceviches. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. I don't think that pepper is necessarily traditional. I don't know. I don't remember my father adding pepper, but I like pepper, so I'm going to add pepper. Okay, and then our ceviche is ready, basically. It's a good idea to let it sit for a little bit, right? Because it's raw fish. So, but the idea is to eat it fresh. And you can, I mean, it's literally, I can eat it right now because it's for me, it's cooked enough. I mean, we all eat sushi, right? But some people, for example, when I was growing up, my mom would first boil water, and she would submerge the fish very quickly in boiled water, and then she would transfer it to the limes because she thought it was important. I don't. I make it raw.
In Ecuador, we actually add mustard and ketchup.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh really?
It gives it a kick.
Oh, no, really? And Gaby, how is Mexican ceviche different?
Well, I actually, I have to admit, I don't know what is the Mexican version of ceviche. We kind of inherit all types of ceviche. So if you go to a place where you can buy ceviche, they will offer like a great variety. And it's not a tradition here. I don't think so. No, we eat ceviche, but probably in the coast or something. I'm gonna find out, but not in the city. It's not something as you that my father or someone would do. I mean,
Okay.
so, I mean, at least that's my experience.
Yeah, and I guess that when I go to, I actually, well, I don't go frequently, but my work in WWF is in our focus is the coral reef that goes all the way from Cancun to Honduras, you know? So I do go, whenever I'm in Cancun or Merida or something, I get ceviche. And in my opinion, it's very similar to Guatemala's, except that it's spicy and you serve it with tortillas, like with fried tortillas.
Con tostada, sí.
Tostada.
Tostada to the flat, hard tortilla. Oh yeah, ceviche with tostada.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, we do eat the ceviche a lot in the coast and in restaurants in the city, but I don't quite know about what the Mexican version specifically would be.
Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of salsa inglesa because I think my ceviche needs a little bit more of that. And we would be done. I actually have a tostada so that I could serve my Guatemalan ceviche in a Mexican way so that we would be inclusive.
Did you ever make ceviche during the Latin American days or not?
We did for our Latin American Day. We did. And I was telling a little bit earlier in that Sadru Damji, he was so excited with the ceviche. He just gobbled it up. He was like, this is so good. This is so good. And it was ceviche made with the tiniest of shrimp. So it was the lousiest, the sorriest excuse for a ceviche, but he was so thrilled with it because it was so different. So I'm going to pick my phone and hopefully the connection stays the same. And I'm going to show you how the ceviches look. And maybe I'll take a picture and then we can put them. Oh, no, that's not working.
That's you.
Yeah. Can you see them?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Sí.
Delicious.
Mm.
Okay.
Can you put it in the sunshine? Can you put it in the sunshine, Libby?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Carla, for helping with the.
Ooh.
So that's the Guatemalan ceviche. And this is the vegan Guatemalan ceviche. And I'm going to show you the Peruvian now. Going to remove the vegan. And I'm going to show you what I have here on the side. So this is the Peruvian ceviche. And what you see here are, it's sweet potato. I boiled it, I peeled it and I boiled it. And in Peru, they have the ceviche with sweet potato and a particular type of corn that they have. And I didn't get the corn, but I figured at least I'd put you the sweet potato on the side. And we're going, in honor of Mexico, we're going to make I'm going to make a tostada of a ceviche tostada.
Oh,
1 second.
pura. We still
Try
have,
my tostadas?
we still haven't got to the virtual tasting yet.
I know. Yeah.
Kind of cruel just to see you
I
cooking and not
know.
tasting it. That,
My
this,
God.
this, it's masochist in this way.
Yeah, I know. Sorry
Well,
about
maybe
that.
we will be more motivated to get the ingredients ourselves for the next one. When she does platanos a mole, we have to get our own ingredients.
Yes.
The issue there is that we don't know how it's supposed to taste.
That's true. It could be really disgusting when we make it.
So
Lilian,
I
we need the
guess-
ingredient list for the plátanos al mole.
oh yes, I haven't done that
Mole.
yet.
Yeah.
I will.
It's not till next Friday, so
Yes,
let
it's
her
not until
finish
Friday,
one thing
but-
at a time.
Yes, tomorrow.
Well, look at the tostada with ceviche. I'm not going to
Ooh.
bite it because it's going to be very cruel on you for me to
Oh.
do that.
Do it.
Can you put it closer to the camera, like so it can see it very clearly, or not closer, but just like more centered in the camera? Yeah.
Okay,
But
give me 1
taste it,
second.
Lilian.
It's okay if I taste it.
Yes.
We need to hear
Okay,
the
but
crunch.
let's
It's like
get
an
the photo
ASMR
first.
video.
Okay,
Okay.
let me
Picture.
picture first. Is that better?
It's a bit blurry, so maybe pull back from the camera just a little bit. It's still blurry. How can we do this? You are in focus, which you are lovely. That is a lovely top, by the way.
There we go.
We got the idea, but yes,
That's good. Yeah.
it is making me.
I'll take a picture of it and we will add to whatever you, so, you know, you help me prepare it for the presentation and I'll take a picture of it and add it. But I'm gonna taste it.
Crunch, crunch.
Mm-hmm,
Mm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's not fair, Lilian.
Now,
When
what,
can we meet again, guys?
what
So
do
we
you,
can,
what do you drink with it, Lilian? Like a beer or wine
Yeah.
or beer?
beer. Actually, I had every intention of having a beer. I have a beer in the fridge, and I had every intention of having it open so that I could toast.
Yes.
But I forgot to do that.
You still have time?
Okay, I'll go get my
Yeah.
beer.
Yes, go get the beer.
I even bought a you know,
A Guatemala beer?
a Guatemalan microbrewery beer because I thought that if I were at the college, you know, we would be at the student store, we would go and we would get some nice local beer
Yes.
instead of the stuff that we chose to drink when we were young and poor. We're no longer young
true.
and poor. So salud.
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 Oh my God, I'm so sorry you guys are not here with me right now.
Can we do a virtual cheer so I can take a picture of everybody?
Okay.
Screenshot in 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Salud, guys.
Salud.
You know, I haven't visited many people, but my favorite thing is to just be in the kitchen with them. That is my favorite activity, especially when they open the fridge and just start telling me everything that's in the fridge that I don't have where I am. And I just feel like I feel very full of tears because it feels like I have been in Lilian's kitchen with her. And that is magnificent. And I can't believe we have not done this before because it's like so precious, you know? Thank you, Lilian.
Thank you, Carla.
If-
I agree. We should do this. You know, we should carry on doing this.
Maybe we can have actually a weekly, podcast for cooking around the world, one dish at a time,
Wow,
for
great idea.
Yeah.
several months, and then at the end we actually, just everyone who wants to join it.
That's a
So,
great
Ruben, what are
idea.
you going to teach us?
That's a,
I would do the Ecuadorian ceviche, but I don't think that will be as good as Lilian.
oh, come
But
on.
I'll have to think about it. I'll try it. Let's see. Oh, maybe I can prepare guinea pig.
I was gonna say guinea pig. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. I'll
Yeah.
just have to take my daughter's
Yeah.
pet and then see if
Ah.
I'm allowed in the States to grill it.
I was so disappointed when I was in Ecuador a couple of years ago. The place we were staying, they would have prepared it for us, but everybody in the group had to agree to have that.
Mhm.
And there were a couple of people who just wouldn't try it. So then we ended up having something else. I was very disappointed because I wanted to try it.
I started making ceviche during the pandemic, actually. I had never made it before, but like I discovered this and I just kept making it. Now it's like the one dish that if you make it well, you just keep,
Yeah.
improvising on it and jazzing with it. So I didn't get all the ingredients because I joined a little bit later. So I'm curious to get all the ingredients that you put in, Lilian.
You will find the ginger there. But just remember that you can add ginger. That's it.
Yes, I did. Actually, in the ceviche I was making during the pandemic was basically scallops, avocado, sweet potato, plums, or mangoes, depending which ones I had. Lime. The sauce I made that is kind of an Asian hot sauce, basically with hot peppers and like something I made separately, and then I just added to this a tiny bit of honey. I didn't put salt and cilantro, absolutely, and red onion or shallots. That was my
Yeah. Some people also make, in Latin America, ceviche is made with limes. The little tiny.
Those are
These
lemons,
ones.
Lilian. Those are lemons. I will fight this.
For me, that's limones. Limones.
Yes.
Limones in
Limones.
Spanish.
Limones.
Limes in the US.
Yes.
Yes.
But ceviche made with the lemon, with
Ah,
the
yeah.
more.
Oh, okay.
It's also it's a different flavor. It's more fragrant because this lemon is so fragrant. So you can experiment, or a combination of the citrus would also be very interesting, right? Not to add just one type of
Passion fruit is also interesting.
If you can find it.
Yeah.
I would think grapefruit and sweet potato could be kind of interesting pair. I do that in other dishes, but I just thought of it. I'm going to experiment.
And one of the things that we tend to eat with ceviche is tostones, so the fried plantains. Like ceviche and yes, and the fried plantains like go together.
Yeah.
Actually, this is kind of interesting, but in the Andes, in Ecuador and Peru, when we eat ceviche sometimes, we actually eat it with popcorn. So we take the popcorn and we actually dip it into the ceviche as well. And so it's kind of an interesting mix. Not everyone has that, it likes it, but it's actually fun to do. Now, I was wondering, and I'll ask you, if you actually had some cool experiences from Pearson regarding the food or with the cafeteria people or anything like that comes to mind.
Gaining a lot of weight.
Do you guys remember Lima Wiggle? I remember Lima Wiggle. We got it off the menu.
Yeah. And Seafood Newburgh was the other one. So
I don't
gross.
remember Seafood Newburgh at all.
You've blocked it out. That's probably why.
I just remember that Thursdays we had tacos sometimes, and that was my favorite day.
Yeah.
Like Swedish meatballs, whatever they were. I had zero idea. To me, all of the food there was strange.
Carla, talking about tacos, sorry. I remember you would make taco salad on taco day, and that was better. That was a better way of eating the taco.
Lilian can remember everything. Like I have no memory of this. Like Lilian, when I am old and I have forgotten everything, you must come and just talk to me about what I was, because
I will.
We were actually a group of Latin Americans who hated the food in the cafeteria. And remember one day we actually went crying to Jane in the cafeteria. and complained about how plain the food was and so on. And she basically felt so pity about us. And she explained that she couldn't spice them because we were from so many places and so on. So she basically told us that whenever she will have food that we didn't like, we can go behind the cafeteria and knock, and she will prepare us different food. So we live out of it. And so we had presents for her, and she will sneak in the back of the cafeteria and we'll get something completely different just because we complain about the food and she wanted us to be quiet.
I've known about that.
Wow, I wish I knew about that.
She was so nice.
I wish I knew I could do that.
Me too.
30 years
Kanta.
later.
Just a little bit of
Kanta,
tears.
you should tell your story.
Well,
What?
well,
Can't hear you.
now.
Kanta has a good story.
Okay.
So I couldn't eat the food because
Oh,
We
we
can't
lost
hear.
you again.
We lost you. Something's going on.
is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I've taken my earphones off. So I couldn't eat the full food because we eat really spicy food, and I endured the 2 years with Tabasco sauce. And when I went back for the 10th year reunion, Janet was waiting at the end of the cafeteria line, and she said, "And this is for you," because I knew you wouldn't be able to eat the food. And I just thought that was so special that she actually remembered this, because I used to carry the Tabasco sauce around me in the cafeteria. And I had Tabasco on everything, and it's just become my go-to now for wherever I go in the world if there isn't anything spicy, you know. So that was my Pearson food experience.
Strategy, which I didn't realize that it was a strategy until now, is that I just had a very nice host family, and they basically were so sort of, they had never met an Albanian before. They were just asking me, what sort of food do you eat in Albania? And by that point I had almost forgotten what I ate in Albania, because it was just like cafeteria food. So I had this Albanian cookbook somewhere at the bottom of my suitcase, and I presented it to them and said, here, you know, and they basically, the whole time I stayed with them, they made me every possible thing.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So I was like, I just don't want to leave. I just want to stay here and just keep eating good food.
Arlinda, were your host families the lady from Sonta?
Yes.
Okay,
I
then
mean, what's her name? Sani.
Sunny, yes. I went to her place once and I didn't meet her standards. I never was able to cook or do something for them, and they kept talking about you. I barely made toast or something like that, and they always said, well, but she did this to us, and so on and so forth. I spent only twice with them.
No, we had a great relationship, but it was mostly them cooking for me, and I was just simply enjoying it. And telling them stories. I think that's, you know, isn't it all connected? It's sort of like the impetus to sit around and tell good stories, and I love that. They were just so wonderful to me.
I remember I was in East House, and Chris Vigée and his wife were the house fellows, and they let us cook in their kitchen sometimes. And we had fondue, and I made a strawberry shortcake. I could remember the recipe from making it at my mom and dad's house, and it was just the best thing ever because it was that real food.
Sharon, do you remember that big meal we cooked and we had in the Max Bell at the end of our second year?
Yes, and I remember it was so good. And Samantha,
yeah, and there was like, everybody made
beans, and we had
we had rice and peas, and then we had like steak. I don't know how we got steak and where they cooked it, but like, I don't know. That was probably the best meal in the 2 years that we all spread out and cooked ourselves. But
yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
In McLaughlin,
I remember.
In McLaughlin House, once Nina and Rand allow us to cook in the kitchen, and we, like many of us, cooked. So we had quite a feast that time. I think I cooked pollo con mole, which I've never cooked ever after I don't know what I cooked really because I don't really know how to do it. Probably I just followed the recipe and I brought the ingredients from home. And I remember making chilaquiles, but they were like box. I would buy the box, like they were already made. It was just adding the sauce, and everybody loved my chilaquiles, but I don't really do much. But that was good.
Yeah.
We cannot hear you, Arlinda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just wondering, where did we get the food for national days, during national days?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. How do we plan that again? We got to design the menus, right? And did they
Yeah.
shop it?
I think the cafeteria, you planned it ahead with them and they would.
Yep. And there were
the
things
food.
that they couldn't do, right? So they might go back and say, this is impossible, we need something else, or so it was all part of planning the national day.
Yes, but Gabby, I think you brought some beans and things for the National Day. Gabby?
I think Gabby brought like maseca so that we would make tortillas, but then our National Day, I can't remember what it was. Was that when like the war started and so most of the events got canceled that day? Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
Vaguely, yep.
Vaguely, yeah. So then I remember ending up like not making the tortillas, right? Like stuff like that, right? It was probably the Kuwait war or something. I can't remember.
Yep.
I mean, January, February 19.
Yep.
What,
1991.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't remember that either.
Yeah, and then most of the events got canceled except like the big show at the Max Bell. Yeah, which was a bummer because we had planned so much stuff.
And I remember too, some of us fasted after that as a protest. I remember not eating for, what was it, like 3 to 5 days? Did anyone else fast for that? There was a group that fasted.
No,
I didn't.
Not for that one, but we did the Ramadan.
Nope, yes.
Yeah, I remember doing the
remember
Ramadan.
that, Sharon. I remember that. Yes.
I did the Ramadan the 2 years, and it was like, well, the nice thing about Ramadan, and I gained a lot of weight, is that when we broke the fast, we could eat as much as we wanted. And it was like with Nina and Sadru, we had this buffet, like for all the ones that were fasting, where we could go and like picked out. So I gained a lot of weight because I wake up like at 5 a.m. in the morning, eat my bag, like they would give us a bag in the cafeteria, and I would just eat everything, go back to bed. And then since I was not eating the whole day, I was very hungry in the evening. So
I think we ended the fast with ice cream too, and that was good.
Yes.
But I wanted to dig into some real food too, like ice cream.
The ice cream.
It was like close to the, like, I think the end of the year, right? When the exams and all that, or at least mock IBs were happening. And I just thought, oh no, it's just too much stress. I need to eat. So I tried it for a couple of days and I was like, oh, the food is magnificent at the end of the day, but I just can't. So I failed.
Yeah, the food was always very good for the Ramadan fast. Yes, it's always fantastic food. Yeah.
Another memory about food was when we went to the Empress Hotel with the choir. So after we finished singing and the show was over, there was a huge table full of like cookies and like a lot of really good things. And everybody was like the table ended up empty, like completely empty, because everybody just put like the cookies that were left in the bags so we could bring cookies for the roommates. They were just too good to be left behind. Do you remember that? Anyone remembers that? Because I remember.
I don't remember that.
Okay, they were like, okay, they don't starve. I was like, we eat, we have food. But the phenomenon of ice cream and everybody eating as much ice cream as possible and all the cookies, you can eat. That was quite a thing.
I remember too, I don't know when it was, but we all went to Pagliacci's, that Italian restaurant.
Oh, wow.
I like when I grew up with my folks in Canada, we had never really gone to like a nice Italian restaurant. So that was the first time I went, and it was just the best ever, especially because, you know, you're eating Pearson food, which is kind of, and then you go and have something like fettuccine Alfredo or, you know, carbonara, and it's like, oh, my tongue's just in heaven. It was wonderful.
And it's funny, I went there 2 years ago when we were back for the reunion, and it wasn't that good, right? Like it wasn't as good as I remembered, but at the time, that was like fine dining. It was, it's a whole other experience.
Did you guys go to Mechosin Cafe or not?
We didn't have Mechosin Cafe. Well,
yeah, I think I don't think it was open.
Yeah, I think it opened after,
later.
just after. Yeah.
I have a food memory, which was Angela Vole and I, we used to organize these sunrise kayaking trips where you had to get up very early and get the kayaking before a class. And we would ask the cafeteria to give us some food to eat when we get to the beach. And they would always give us date squares. So it was so gross, like first thing in the morning.
For breakfast.
Like my breakfast. And it was like this basically like hard brick of date sugar stuff. And so Angela and I stopped asking them for breakfast because it was just like, oh God, this is so disgusting. So we would try to go grocery shopping for those kayaking trips so we would have a treat instead. But date squares for breakfast, like, no.
Well, I remember too, I went just escaping from the college too. Itai took a kayak or a canoe or what it was, and we went out to, what was that little place that had a shop that you could buy junk food and stuff? Like you could canoe to it. Where was that?
Was it the marina?
Yeah, just to
the marina. Yeah.
Yeah, and we just thought it was such an adventure to go get a bag of chips.
Yeah. Civilization.
Yeah. We're like, do we have enough quarters? Yeah, let's go.
Well, the talk of food is making me hungry.
I'm gonna share my screen with the picture of the feast I was talking about. I just
found them.
Wow.
This is for Ramadan, right?
No. This is the one we had at McLaughlin House.
Oh my God! You guys really went to town. My, look at all that food.
Yeah. I just I have. Well, I think this is the one I clearly have from the food, and this is we were like eating happy faces, and I think Brian was eating a pepper, you know, a chile. He was like, I'm brave, I'm gonna eat the chile. And well, yeah,
that must have been our first year, Gabby.
Yeah,
that was our first year. Yes,
Jap and Smadar and
and Kathleen and I remember I think we cooked
Fernando and Louise Grogan.
Yeah, there's Louise. Does anybody know where she is?
No
idea.
No. And I think
look at Audrey. And
I think here what they were doing, they were checking the recipe or something. It was the same day when we were cooking. And we were cooking here at Nina's place.
I remember Nina and Narendra had like all of these prices for whatever you would use, right? So it was like half a cup of flour was, you know, this many cents, and a stick of butter was this much, and 2 cups, you know, a cup of sugar was this much. So you could pay for it like exactly what you used in the recipe. That was just so funny.
Yes, it was really convenient. I think all the house fellows had a list, a similar list like that, and it just made things a lot more clear, right? Yeah, and cheap. You know, you didn't have to buy a whole thing of flour, just 1 cup.
Just what you needed.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still do that. I wish Theron were here. He could tell us.
He could tell us. Yeah.
I just want to remind folks that we are doing some more cooking events this week. So tomorrow Arfan is going to be teaching how to make Welsh cake, which is like exactly like a Newfoundland tea bun, by the way, Daniel. So in Newfie language, it's a tea bun.
It's a tea bun. Yeah, tea biscuit. We
In
call them tea
Wales,
biscuits.
Danielle and I are both from Newfoundland. So he is making Welsh cakes, they call it.
Yes.
And then later this week on Thursday, I'm going to be teaching how to make, it's called Spam musubi. It is a Hawaiian snack that we make. So I'm in a Japanese drumming group and we sell this as a fundraiser every summer and it's super yummy. It's made with sushi rice. And I know Spam, you're probably thinking, gross, Spam. Well, you don't have to eat it. You can just watch me make it. But it's really crazy delicious and very popular when we make it. Can you remember, are there any other cooking ones, Tanya, that you can remember?
Plátanos con mole, which Lilian is making on Friday.
Oh, that's right. How did I forget the plátanos? Okay, sorry. I did not forget that. That's Friday.
Lilian,
No,
but
you
we can't
didn't.
get the mole.
So if anyone
We
else
will
wants
make
to
the
cook-
mole. We will make the mole from scratch.
Oh my gosh.
Can you?
Seriously.
Yes,
Ingredients
but
are
it's not. But you see, it's Guatemalan plátanos en mole. It's not Mexican, so it doesn't take
okay.
40 ingredients. It takes 6.
okay.
Yes, I know.
Ingredient
Gabby, correct me, but I think, I knew that the mole, the Mexican mole, was really a secret recipe from Puebla or.
Well, the mole is really sauce, right? So there are a few different sauces. There's black mole, there's green mole, there's red mole, and everybody has their own version. And but the mole negro, which is the one that Gabi probably made for McLaughlin House, is the most, well, in my opinion, is the best. It's very sophisticated. It takes like 40 ingredients. It takes 2 days of preparing that sauce. We're not doing that. We're doing what in Guatemala. So Guatemalan food is very similar to Mexican food, but when Mexican food takes 40 ingredients and 2 days of cooking, and it's much more complex and labor intensive, we have the 6-7 ingredient versions. So I'm making the 6-7 ingredient version, okay? But you're going to be able to make it no matter where you are in the world, because we're going to make it from scratch.
Okay.
Okay, but remember,
Wow.
some of us don't have access to all ingredients, so.
Yes, I know. I promise that I will prepare that list today.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think we should actually
Thanks, everyone.
have a
My phone
session
is about to
about.
die.
We should have
Bye,
a session
Kathy.
about coffee. And I actually want to remember that I just remembered that essentially the person who introduced me to coffee is in this room, and it was Maureen, and it was in a national day that she prepared Egyptian coffee, and I couldn't sleep after that. And since then, my addiction for coffee has increased. But I grew up drinking coffee in Latin America, but for me, I thought that was okay. But
Yeah,
her
that was-
coffee
that
was
was
the
pretty-
one. Yeah.
That was pretty important stuff.
Yeah. With a little machine and everything. It was like a whole ritual that we could always do. Is that right?
I know. I remember getting a burner. Like I needed an open flame, so I remember Sylvia lending me one from the chem lab. She's like, if anything happens to it, I'm not going to be happy. I'm like, I swear, I will protect it with my life. Yeah, I actually have a picture. I have to find it. I have it somewhere.
I found another. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, no, Ruben, growing up on café con leche, that was like watery, sugary, milk with a drop of coffee.
And I think in Latin America, we are used to drink instant coffee. So when we actually got to something a little bit more powerful and dense, or something in which it changes your palate.
I found another picture of the cafeteria, in the cafeteria mood. I don't remember which event was this that Angus and Brian were like serving with, and I don't remember her name. Do you remember? Very sweet woman.
Yeah, very sweet woman.
Yeah.
Well, Angus and Brian and Paul and Abby served a few times. Remember that they did that for when we did the Sundays one time?
I don't remember the occasion, but they were just, and this one might ring the student store. Like this was from inside the store.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot from inside the store.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I volunteered for the student store like once in a while. So, and here I found knitting club. I mean, this is not, well, this has to do with food and the previous session. Let me show you at Anne McCann's place. I'll show you. Here we go.
Tanya,
Hi everyone.
Huh?
Sorry, my phone is about to die. It has low battery.
Bye, Kathy. Thank you for
Thank you so
joining.
much. I'll see
Bye,
you again.
Kathy.
Bye.
Here you go, Tanya.
Wow, knitting club
Bye.
with like 10
Bye.
pillows.
Oh, there's Tanya.
I have a picture of knitting club. I'm gonna have to go dig it up because we're all, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I have to run too because my battery's about to die. But Sharon, where can I find you? Are you on Discord or on any of the other?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
What should I be on? Should I try Discord first?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I can message you there and we'll have to find a time to get together because I could not get that gather town. Yesterday I could see you and I could see you moving, but there was no sound coming from under us.
I know.
But it's amazing. It's wonderful to see you. I'm so excited.